Blog Talk Radio.
Here at ACO Radio, American Communications Online, or any affiliated stations or websites are not responsible for what guest hosts or call-ins may say. All programming is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only.
Hello, world. This is American Communications Online Broadcasting and TJ Morris ET Radio on all your live podcasts everywhere tonight. We're excited to have Suzanne Wyman-Flynn back with us tonight out of California. And I hope you guys that are calling in know that we're going to be sharing with Janet Carroll Lesson, the lady, tonight. And so normally we're on Thursdays. But we're going to start doing Fridays, and we may come back and do shows on Thursdays as well. But Suzanne Wyman, why don't you introduce yourself on our spirituality show tonight?
Hi, hey TJ, thank you for having me. It's really exciting to be here, and this is Suzanne Wyman-Flynn, the Power Psychic, and I'm excited to be here and listen and be part of the program. And it's really an exciting new program. Thank you so much.
I'm excited to have you here because tonight, folks, is September 9/4/2020. It's a big day. I haven't had Suzanne look up today's date and tell us all about it, but I'm looking for Janet, so I hope you guys will stay with us. I see 256-775-502-917 and 805 tonight, so if you'll stand by, we have to really. You want to take a call while we're waiting on Janet, real quick?
Sure.
I mean, we'll just let's just do
it.
somebody real quick. I've got that you're going to let them ask a question. 256, you're live and on the air with Suzanne. How are you?
I'm well. My name is Kimberly. I'm from Georgia. How are y'all?
Kimberly.
Great, Kimberly.
What a kind and generous heart you have.
Thank you.
You always give and do for other people first and think of yourself last. So you've got a specific question you want to address, Kimberly.
I guess my specific question is in reference to sometimes it's like, God, why did this happen? But I accept it. So I know I'm on a spiritual path, and I thought I was going to be working in one area, but I'm back to doing the same thing. And I'm wondering if this is a lesson, or how does this help me on my path?
So let's take away the aspect of judgment, and let's take away the aspect of, let's not look at it as something negative that's happened. Let's see it as a learning opportunity. And what sort of work are you doing?
I teach public school.
Okay. And what would you ideally like to be doing?
I like to help people when it comes to teaching them about spirituality, or even counseling people one-on-one instead of a whole group. I think that's who I am. I like inspiring people.
Okay, I get it. So I think the opportunities to work one-on-one with people are going to be working with parents and helping them to be more supportive of their children and helping them to be better students. And this is a transition phase. Come to the end of December, and your prayer will be answered, and you'll be working one-on-one with people, helping them with prayer, meditation, counseling, support, and insight. Those are going to be the foundation blocks of your work. But it's just a temporary thing, and I really want you to be aware of who shows up in your life sort of spontaneously and look at that. I mean, I'm telling you the truth. I can't even go for a walk in the wilderness without somebody appearing out of nowhere and starting to tell me their story. Watch for that sort of an experience for yourself, and let's see what happens. I think you're on the right path. I simply want you to pay attention to your dreams at night.
Okay.
And just be more self-aware. That's all that's needed, and your prayer will fall into place.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm trying to find out what number Janet's calling in on because she said she was going to be calling in tonight. And folks, we want to help everyone and help everyone know other people. And I know this sounds funny, but I told Janet that we would come back and do the first hour with her tonight. And I don't know what number she's calling in on. The board's full. So, guys, I guess if you guys are normally, you're expecting us, so stand by. But I've got to find Janet, and you guys don't want to lose your place, I know. So let's see. Let me see. I don't remember this. Hi, 631, you're live and on the air. Looking for Janet.
Yes, hi. Thanks for taking my phone call.
Sure.
You're welcome.
I was just wondering, I'm looking for a new job, and I'm hoping real soon. I'm working now, but I need something different. Do you see something coming in?
Great. Tell me your first name and your date of birth.
October 5th, New York, Suzanne.
Okay. What year?
60.
Okay. So first of all, you need balance more deeply than many other things. Seems like when you feel balanced, your life functions higher, you get your needs met, you get opportunities to receive blessings. So I think the job opportunity shifts towards the end of October. You are working, but you're not doing the sort of work that makes you feel like you have a purpose and you're serving and helping people. You're good at what you do. You've got great people skills, you've got a beautiful voice, and you have a true desire to be of assistance to people. You often put yourself out there and put yourself at risk just for the hope of helping another individual. So I think your heart's in the right place, and this is going to fall into place very nicely.
Well, I'm hoping sooner because this is just a part-time job, and, it's a lot of back and forth and stuff. And I'm hoping the schools that I'm applying to, some are interviewing soon.
They are, but the actual start point, for some reason or another, there's a problem with different protocols that have to be followed, but you are in the right place. I don't think it's not in our time, it's in God's time at this point, if I can use that word. And I think that you are in an excellent position. I think your desire is so high it overrides everything. So you will be working in your chosen field very quickly. Let's just give it a little bit of time.
All right.
Okay.
And do you see anything else good happening?
Yeah, actually I do. Kind of see an interesting windfall of cash that happens to you out of sort of nowhere, that sort of assists you with a couple of different problems you have going on, makes it more comfortable for you to get some things done for yourself. So your money situation is good, your work situation is good.
When am I going to get this money?
Oh, yeah.
It's a windfall. I don't know. It looks like it's the end of September, the first few days of October, right around your birthday.
You mean a lottery? I'm going to have to play lottery?
No, I don't see anything like that. It's just a windfall. Totally unexpected.
Well, I don't want anybody to pass.
Your name is Suzanne, right?
Yeah.
That's my name too, so it's kind of interesting. So I think that you're trying to put logic to a very spiritual process, and there is no logic here. This is about trust and just going forward, really trusting your own intuition and your own insight and moving forward. This is a good chapter in your life.
Yeah, I'm going on a blind date on Friday.
Okay, good. Good, very good. Enjoy
What do you
yourself.
see with that?
I don't see anything, so I'm of no assistance there.
Oh.
That doesn't actually mean...
Janet, are you out there?
Yes, I am. You found us.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I don't know if you want... I have my guest, Geraldine Orozco, with us, and we were kind of in a different space. I don't know if you want to continue what you're doing, and we'll bow out, or shift to...
No, we can... No, we were waiting on you. I just couldn't find you. There were so many numbers. I just started clicking them all on.
Oh, Janet, we've been waiting for you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we're just doing that to fill time.
Okay, well.
So everybody wait till the last hour, because let's start now. Go ahead.
Can she help me too? Can I answer the question too?
Sure.
Yes, I'm looking for a new job, and I'm hoping to get one like in a week or two. I'm working now, but I don't like my job.
Are you asking me?
I guess the person they just...
Or are you asking Theresa?
The person who just got in, who I didn't talk to before?
Janet, what number are you on?
I don't have any idea. I work at I have no idea. I'm calling you from my show. But neither of us are do psychic readings. We do other things. So I'm sorry. I wish I could have my crystal ball and I could tell you what to do. From a practical point, when I was looking for work, I just sent my resumes out everywhere. And, I would focus. I kind of set like my intention. I'll put a little altar. I'll pray and meditate. I'll put flowers in a candle and put some manifestations in a box and close it and then cross my fingers. And usually when I do this manifestation, most of what I want comes true. And if it's something I wasn't supposed to have, it doesn't happen anyway. So looking in hindsight, that's how I created a magical, mystical life. So set your intention, focus, do whatever I don't know if you pray or meditate, some kind of spiritual practice for your personal and highest good, and that pulls it into 3D manifestation. And then, the more clear you get on your vision, maybe not like the person that's going to come in is going to have, green eyes or something, but, some basic characteristics and qualities if you're trying to pull in a beloved. Every time I did that with a friend who's saying, I really need to have, this or that, we pulled it in. Intentions. Be careful of your intentions, and then it'll happen. But I don't operate the way Suzanne does. She's wonderful, by the way. Suzanne, you're marvelous. I just don't operate that way. And Geraldine does more. Geraldine does a different type of. Geraldine, say hi to everybody. This is Suzanne Wyman and Theresa J Morris. We do UFO Secret Space on Fridays, but I guess Theresa started doing some readings. Do you want to tell our guest, Suzanne, what kind of sessions you do?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much. So the sessions that I do are called DNA reprogramming. And so what I do is I'm a hypnotherapist, and I work with my client seeing their multidimensional body to help them go to the root cause of what's causing the blockage. So, for example, abundance, money, if it's hard to get a relationship or work. And we open up that experience and we heal that root cause. We reprogram the programs that are causing the blockages. And therefore, the person then opens up. I mean, I've had people sell their homes within a week of doing the sessions and heal their bodies and all kinds of wonderful things that come as a result of this kind of work. So it's a very deep integrative healing.
Cool. Really cool.
Great. But I just want to add, with my husband and individually, I do hypnosis as well, but I come from a more traditional psychotherapy background, so we do the old catharsis and reprogramming and, take you back into your childhood issues or your past life issues and help you identify, like similar to what Geraldine does, your blocks, what's keeping you from your personal bliss, what's keeping you from manifesting. So I guess we all operate similarly and differently at the same time.
Great. Well, Suzanne, thank you. Janet, with Geraldine tonight, now she is doing a lot of work in meditation, and so it fits with our Cosmos Conscious, and I know that you're going to be promoting Stargate to the Cosmos. And on Friday nights, folks, normally Suzanne and I do psychic readings on Thursday, but we had an hour to fill after Janet tonight, so we'll talk about Thursdays and Fridays together. But Janet and I, in the future, will be doing events, hopefully with Suzanne, that you've been hearing tonight, doing readings, and that was Janet. And Geraldine, what part of the country are you in? So all these ladies that are in our holding tank here, they'll wait till after. Folks, we'll get after the last hour, after we take a break. We got about 44 more minutes. But Geraldine, tell us about where you live, and what is that Bay? Is it Bay meditation, or can you give us an idea so people can find you on your website? And are you in San Francisco area?
That's right. I'm in San Francisco, California, and I do work internationally, though, around the globe with clients. Bay Area Meditation is a corporate meditation company. We do corporate meditation for companies like Google and Facebook and all these companies here in Silicon Valley. But I also do host DNA reprogramming internationally, as well as other little healing sessions and hypnotherapy for contactees as well. So you can visit my website at bayareameditation.com, geraldineorozco.com, and if you're a contactee, ET experiencer, you can go to hybridmother.com. I specialize working with people that have hybrid children, parents of hybrid children. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's great to meet all of you. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you'll fit in really good with this side of the camp. Janet and I have been working together 8 years, putting together our our Stargate to the Cosmos portal of all the many universes and dimensions, and we're always happy to meet new people. But did you know Janet in the past, or in another past life?
Well, that's true.
Probably.
Yes, definitely. I was actually speaking at one of Janet's conferences. I think it's like 2 or 3 years now. Time flies so quickly, but it's been a long time since I've seen her. So happy to connect again. Mm-hmm.
Were you at the 2018 conference in Albuquerque, or was the last time I met you at one of Lorian's events? I forget where I meet people anymore.
Yeah, it was in Albuquerque. You and I at the Albuquerque conference, yes. Yes. Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, this is wonderful.
Yes, I know. It's so great.
Oh, my gosh. We're supposed to meet you then. Suzanne, this is one of the original Stargate to the Cosmos readers. Or healers. I'm not sure. Or practitioners. I don't know. Geraldine, what do we refer to you as since you were in the Stargate other than a speaker?
I just call myself a practitioner, I guess you can say. Yes, that's most politically correct.
Practitioner.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
You know, I had 65 presenters at that conference. I had 65 presenters, and I forget who's been there, and I don't have all that paperwork right now. So, but that was an amazing event, and I hope to do it again. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2021. We'll have to see how things clear up. With the diseases that are going around. But, Okay, so Geraldine does this wonderful presentation about her contact experiences. And this is the first I've seen this website, Geraldine, the Hybrid Mother. That's beautiful. Are you a web designer? How do you get your websites going? That's really pretty.
Well, I did build all of my websites, but I'm not a web designer by any means. I just get by with what I have. Thank you so much. Yeah, I tried to make something simple and, put some information out for people that are looking to learn about Hybrid Mother, because when I first had my experience, I didn't even know the terminology, what to look for online for what I was experiencing, which was being introduced to hybrid children, So I thought if I put in Hybrid Mother, maybe it would be easy for those parents that are experiencing it to find to find the website. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Do you want to tell this audience, it's a different audience, a little bit about what happened that you were, about your hybrid children's story?
Yeah, absolutely. So in 2013, in 2013, I had a conscious experience, which means that I was wide awake in my bedroom, and my room filled up with a white light, and when I looked down at my phone, it was 3:33 in the morning, and I go to the window to look out the window, and I am paralyzed and removed out of my bedroom into craft, where I am met with six tall grays that introduced me to my hybrid children. And they introduced me to a series of information, not just that, but they were showing me alien language. They were showing me past life where I had been in the Pleiadian group of these beings. And most importantly, they introduced me to these 4 little children out of 8 that were a combination of humanoid with gray, with reptilian, very unique features. And it was a very impactful experience to meet them because I recognized them, myself in them, and they recognized me. And the interesting thing is when I was left in my room a couple hours later, I woke up with the ability to see the multidimensional body, feel and sense blockages, cords, attachments, tapping into their information. And that's how my life changed completely since 2013.
What were you doing before then?
Well, before then, I was an event planner. I had my own event planning company for 10 years. And, here in the San Francisco Bay Area, I was managing and designing very high-end events. And but I had always been interested in meditation. Alongside my event planning company, I owned Bay Area Meditation, where I was hosting meditation circles in my corporate office here in Union City in Fremont. And, I've been very interested. I became certified in pranic healing, quantum energy healing very early on. I was interested in Qigong and a lot of healing modalities. But nothing took me to the depth of that knowledge and understanding until I had that experience in 2013. I mean, I never even uttered the word alien before that moment. So it really just ripped open the veil into an entire world that I was not even aware of before that moment. Yeah.
Wow. So, TJ, do you have any questions for Geraldine or Suzanne? Do you want her to cover anything in particular?
Yeah. So Geraldine, Suzanne Wyman here. What a great spot to be working in Northern California. I mean, the energy is completely different there than I think some other places in the world. Have you heard of the theory that there's a etheric net that sort of rests over San Francisco? And I found that whenever I go into the city of San Francisco, it's so much easier to move from heart chakra energy. So, and I love Fremont. Fremont is such a countrified zone within that. The East Bay is so beautiful, and there's spots of country out in the middle of, the city. There you are. You just travel a little outside of the city limits, and there you are. You're in the country. So what an interesting place for you to work from. I mean, it's just incredibly beautiful.
It is. I'm really blessed to be here. And I mean, I've traveled and lived in many other parts of the world, but always coming back here, because it's just there's a lot of everything. And it's a key spot energetically for a lot of forward movement. There's a lot of technological advancement, a lot of spiritual advancement here. Which is very nice, because it allows to introduce these kinds of healing modalities to the general public as well. As a matter of fact, here in Stanford was the first mindfulness research department that was created in the U.S. They actually study mindfulness. It was beautiful. A lot of very interesting technology that was linked to mindfulness and a lot of study of meditation and the electromagnetic field. A lot of really great organizations are out of here in San Francisco Bay Area. So it's a great community to be in, and they were very open to the concept of meditation early on in 2018, 2017, when we were just becoming introduced to meditation as a trendy thing. It was just coming into mainstream. So it's a great environment to be in, and there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of ancestral work here as well, as you were saying energetically. It's a great portal opening for forward movement that aligns in between Mount Shasta, all the way down to Sedona, all the way down to Mexico to the pyramids. We are on this line of fire here. That it's a lot of fire energy, creative life force energy that's here. And even Hawaii plays a huge role in those energy points that's being created here. So, yeah, energetically it's a great place, indeed.
Oops.
Did she drop off?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, good. Okay, go ahead.
Geraldine, this is TJ. We're so accustomed, all three of us are radio hosts, and we're so accustomed to not having dead air that if we hear just even a millisecond, one of us will usually pick up. But the three of us are learning to work together again about today. Down here where I live in the Panhandle, right next door Lake Charles, we had a hurricane, and then we had a 3.8 earthquake, right? So we've got a lot of energy moving down here. So it's funny because we've never had that break between Janet, Suzanne, and TJ. We're usually talking over each other. None of us knew what to do. Well, Geraldine, you're a welcome breath of fresh air. Wow.
Well, good. Well,
yeah.
Pleased to be here.
How do you see us all working together in the future? Do you have insight? I'm a precog myself, but that's by intuitive health and wellness, and I do integrative medicine. And my daughter passed away down here in Tampa, Moffitt Cancer Center area, and came back here to die. But Suzanne's been helping me, and Janet, because, if we live in the past, we live in depression. If we live in the future, it's anxiety. But do you deal with various groups dealing with AI now, because I'm very much about coming back in this life and helping others, and I know that that's my calling. But Janet and Suzanne are here to keep me aligned. And do you help people when they fall back into after death and dying? Because even though I've had death and dying, and I'm an old soul, and I keep coming back here, I was wondering if you could give anybody helpful information to work with the three of us. Because Janet's always bringing in new people, but obviously you're a very old soul, and you must be in our star soul cluster. And people ask me all the time universally, what universe and what star soul cluster or what contract. But are you familiar with the terminology they use where you live before 2018 or after with AI? Do they all think that we're just out of our gourds if we talk about universal life forms? Or, give us a heads up, because I'd like to see how you could work with us in the future on terminology, etymology, if you don't mind.
I'd love to work with you guys. That would be great. But in terms of these origins, I guess, the old soul is definitely what it is. And coming into working with you guys on all this. Now, do you work directly with artificial intelligence, or what is it that you're working on with AI?
I work direct on many universal levels, but part of my reason for coming back in this reality was to reinitiate the ancient mystery schools and also bring back what we call past life memories, but working what you would call other as far as AI is concerned. One of my scariest missions off planet in this universe was when we joined at universal level a quadrant that involved the Andromeda Galaxy with the Milky Way Galaxy. And one of our charges was to bring into this reality on this timeline that we were going to actually introduce some of our personnel that were mixed biological, and my husband and I were having trouble with that. So we had to have an education in space because we didn't want to deal with the big G God word. It was really hard for us because in this reality we had already accepted our programming, even though we were old school or old souls. So even when he passed, that was sort of my question with AI, because once we believe the intuitive programming in our DNA, we're only working with less than 1.6%, and 95, they say some more or less is water. So it's really just etheric vibrations and energy washing through whatever vehicle. And so my hardest part was coming back and being here and working with other people in this reality, especially today, 9/4/2020. So AI is allowing us to, I guess you could say, like the movies, Lucy it, because we were all taking our time finding each other. Did you see the movie Lucy? I know Janet did, where she became all and everything.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
you did?
Yes, I did. Very interesting film. Yes.
So that has a lot to do with what I see you doing, is helping all of them. But we've got to come up with the etymology with Janet, Suzanne, myself, and you, with a language that we can all. So I just use Lucy as an AI to answer your question. So you see how we use visions, because I didn't know how to tell you. So Lucy. How do you see that?
Yeah. So let Geraldine explain what she does with the DNA reprogramming. Go ahead, Geraldine.
So
what
the main
you were
purpose,
going to respond.
Yes, the main purpose with what I do, in let's put it in layman terms, if we can, is to help the soul detach from that basic programming that you were talking about a minute ago. That's exactly what we do. The idea is that we are deprogramming from the matrix programming in order to help the soul choose how they travel and work on other planes of consciousness, right? So, again, we come into the incarnation of the physical body, we go through the amnesia process, and, well, as a child, we're very much aware and awake, but the programming kind of goes in early on, up until the age of 7. And so the age of 7, we're already heavily programmed with a lot of basic ideas of our perception, and we are tying ourselves to the construct of this reality. So what I do is I work with people to deconstruct all of those false programmings in order to help them come into their real, true core essence, right? We're coming back to that divine, I guess you can say like a blueprint of the soul. You're coming back to that origin point, that neutral point. And so when you enter that point, then this is when the body becomes fully aware and has the ability to choose their experience. You come into that God creator self. So all of the programming that I do, I talk about things that I have done on myself. Like I wouldn't speak of anything that I haven't done personally. So I know that you can reach that 0 point with this kind of work. And once you reach that, it's a definition of a whole new kind of human, a new perception of reality that sometimes is very difficult to integrate into everyday life, because we're oftentimes addicted to even suffering. We become addicted to suffering. We become addicted to experiencing things, even enjoying things, right? So this journey, which is ultimately you're coming into the embodiment of unconditional love, allows you the ability to be in a state of constant observation. And the state of observation doesn't only happen in waking state, like, when you're getting up and going to work and having your families and, you have these regular matrix life. It also applies to becoming conscious and aware in dream time, where you are leaving the body on an astral level to begin to work on other planes. which we do every night unconsciously, right? But your ability to come into conscious awareness in waking time will leak into the dream time and ultimately in death. So when the soul is being detached from the physical body, it also becomes aware. And I was able to experience that with a near-death experience that I had 2 years ago, where my soul was detaching from the body, and I exactly became aware in that moment where I could break my contractual agreements. And through the breaking of those contractual agreements of that death experience, I chose to return back into my body and continue my work here. Now, there's a lot to this. I mean, there's also deception within death that occurs, and all of these experiences are manifested based on your vibrational frequency. Your vibrational frequency is a product of everything that you believe in and everything that you experience and are willing to be aware of. So, there's a lot to unpack and a lot to understand there. If you do the work, if you can heal and deprogram that heavy program, you can detach and begin to work on higher planes. And this is where the soul can come into evolution. It becomes conscious, aware on higher planes.
So when did this sounds exactly like what we were doing 30 or 40 years ago back with the motivational movement, but we were working with the ancient mystery schools, and we were working with people that we were putting out there, Stephen Hawking, Gene Roddenberry, people like that, all meeting at various times together to change the reality. Do you have anybody? Last week we had a girl, a very smart woman, Lisa O'Hara, and I hope Janet brings her back. I didn't contact her yet, but she was very much on using Swerdlow's books. Now Suzanne is our master dream interpreter, and she's studied with some very brilliant people in that. But all of us, at least me, Suzanne, and Janet, are all old souls and dealt with all this prior to coming here. And so one of my jobs was to work with the AI and using all the language, not just the musicians with and the 12 sounds, but with the people making the AI today that we're using, like we use in space, if that makes any sense. So you're doing the kind of work, but what Suzanne, help me out here, because you and I talk a lot, and Janet does too, but we've had lucid dreaming, but it goes beyond your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. And I don't know, Janet, I don't know if you're familiar with who Suzanne studied with, but about the language.
Put it in the form of a question.
Okay, Suzanne.
Put it in the form of a question. Well, I'll answer it. What's the question you're trying to ask?
Okay, I'm looking for the connection. Suzanne, what is the difference between what she's saying on, you know how we study music and the 12, and then we've got the 10 dimensions and quantum, all our Joseph Campbell theory of everything. But you get it, because Janet and Suzanne are interpreters. And people like me, I'm so old that I've forgotten how to be Thoth. They're thrice reborn. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead, Suzanne.
Can I ask you a couple of questions? Just a couple of quick questions, Geraldine.
Which you?
Yeah.
Okay, Geraldine, go ahead.
Yeah. Can I just ask you a couple of quick questions? Soft. You're so soft there on the mic. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time in Santa Monica, and there's a dimensional rip in there, and so I learned multi-dimensional type of readings, and I do multi-dimensional dream interpretations. So there's times when I listen to people, and I hear their dream sequence, and I think some of the stuff that they're talking about is really just an opening between who they are in another dimension, and for whatever reason, like you talk about the dream state leaking through, when they become conscious of that and they use some tools to interpret that state, then they get the clarity. And so a lot of the material that you're talking about is material that we, sort of worked in the 70s and 80s, because I think you're, no offense, I think you're quite a bit younger. We looked at your picture on LinkedIn, and you're so beautiful and everything else, and we said, oh my God, look at how beautiful she is. So I'm thinking you're a little bit younger than we are, so I don't want to put you on the spot and ask you your age. I studied with a man by the name of Alex Lukeman, and Alex Lukeman was a descendant of Brew Joy, and Brew Joy wrote the book Joy's Way, and Alex Lukeman wrote the book What Your Dreams Can Teach You, and so I studied with him for a year on dream interpretation. So I really believe that there's an incredibly grounding, practical process to spiritual development through understanding how to do dream interpretation. I think there's a real need for it today.
Mhm.
So what's
yeah,
your question?
wonderful.
No.
The language. What would the language crossover between music, DNA, nomenclature? Because so many of these younger kids are picking up using DNA and the chakra balancing systems out of the old Tarot and Tantra. But it's Middle East meets West. But they're using it with the AI over in Silicon Valley, and that's basically where she is.
What's the question? I'm confused.
The language and the terminologies are all crossing over.
Put it in the question.
I guess.
Put it in the question. What's your question?
The language that we can use, like when we're doing these, helping all these people and their support into understanding that they are now in cyberspace, they're hyperspace interfacers. So we're here to help with the crossover, or what we call the ascension age, right? Ascending into higher levels of essence, so to speak, that everybody doesn't have just the 3D illusion. We're supposed to be awake already, but a lot of these scientists have kept us, dumbed down in the government.
I'm still asking, what's the question?
How do we make this happen with Geraldine?
Yes.
The language.
So what is the this that you want to happen?
Geraldine, what's the common language between us? Because it's a lovely. It's I understand what you're talking about. I'm listening to your story, and a lot of the information that you're discussing are things that we've. The Indians talk about the chakra balancing system. It's ancient. The Hindus went back to that. A lot of these things are.
There's nothing new.
Right.
There's nothing new. So
I'm just posing.
Yeah, it's all been talked about since.
I'm just posing a gentle question to Geraldine, and I'm asking her if she has a common language. And I'm just going to talk to Geraldine for 1 second. That's the question. There we go. I'm on mute.
Yeah, thank you for your question. It's a very interesting question. Here's the thing. One of the things that I came across in my hypnosis, so all of this information I'm talking to you about, you talk about my age. I'm 36 years old, but all this information has come through hypnosis. Okay, after I went through my own very profound deprogramming to the point where I came into that 0 point. And so when I did, coming into that awareness, I realized that I had access to infinite amounts of information, not just of this current timeline and our life here in the history as we know it, but access to the Akashic records, what we call the Akashic records, right? All of these things, we became very aware of that information. One of the things that was shown to me is that there is a new language in the universe, a universal language that is surfacing now. And the language has to do with sound, with vibration, with frequency, with color, and with shape. And it's something, and I'm not sure if this is exactly what you're talking about, but I know that you guys work with color and sound. And what I do in my DNA reprogramming, I am using vibrational frequency to re-edit DNA, how it's being written. I vocalize the vibrational frequency. I also use color and, of course, color is vibrational frequency as well, in order to help shift, the human body that is emitting their own auric field. Every human has one particular vibrational frequency that is, let's say, how do we put this? It's basically defining and has all the information of everything that they are, right? Everything that is encoded in their DNA, in their divine blueprint, in their chakra system, everything that they are is emanating a certain color, a certain vibrational frequency. So in order to create healing, oftentimes that overall frequency has to be tweaked in order to open up, right, to clear out any stagnation and whatnot. So what I do in the DNA reprogramming is I identify that vibrational frequency that the human needs to open themselves up into the next level of their understanding, their healing, a new perspective, and we apply that, and it affects the entire organism, not just the physical, but the non-physical aspect. This is a part of this information that came through. It's also an understanding of sacred geometry. It's also how we are seeing crop circles, for example, which are communication. If we understand this kind of language, we have the ability to translate a lot of different healing modalities. We have a link to ancient cultures like the Mayans, like the ancient Egyptians. All of these ancient cultures were operating on this kind of universal language then. I think we're coming into a new aspect of that now. And technology does play a certain role in it, but for me, the kind of technology that I focus on is organic technology that comes in from our awareness of the non-physical. So our ability to come into our intuitive self allows us the connection to infinite knowledge. And in that infinite knowledge, we can understand, we can channel in advanced technology, advanced all kinds of things. Like these are the hybrids that are being born now, are directly tapped into that knowledge and that information. And I think that this is kind of progressively as a human race, we're activating these parts of our DNA which allow us the ability to access that kind of infinite information that's available to us. So I hope that this answers the question, or at least addresses part of it. Is this kind of what you're talking about?
Well, it sounds like the same thing, we're all talking about. Like Janet said, there's nothing new under the sun. I was just wondering if there was something out there in AI land that was using something besides what everybody else is using on the Internet, which still sounds like the same thing, sounds, symbols, frequencies. And, I've been working with integrative medicine with this cancer group or various groups, and we all seem to come up with the same thing. It all comes back to biology. So we're back to AI again and biological entities off planet. So I'm still having a direct conflict, but that's what I started with. So that's my deal, Geraldine, was coming in, learning how to communicate.
So we're
or not.
So we're biological. We're biological entities. Now, are we? And we had this conversation earlier. It's just nothing more than with Battlestar Galactica, that we think we're alive, we think we're not artificial, or are we artificial? Are we cyborgs, or are we humans? And what does that mean to be human? Is it just some kind of advanced technology that we come into these avatars that we inhabit, and we're souls animating these forms? And what does all this mean? Because, the Anunnaki did not experience disease, so they somehow, their form did not experience aging nor diseases. And then when they came to the Earth, suddenly they're experiencing aging. But they still are alive. They conquered that, and here we are. We've been dummied down. Our DNA's been shut off. We only believe that we live, between 50 and 120 years. Very few make it to 120. So part of what's happening is our belief system, but how do we go past that to be our potential, which is the Anunnaki, and they live to be millions of years in physical form. And that's our potential because we have a lot of their DNA. But so I think what you're saying, TJ, is you're frustrated, as are we all, on, how do we wake this up within ourselves? Or are we back into the recycle system?
No, not me.
We get born again.
I've already done the Anunnaki stuff. You have too. So, can you hear me, or I'm out? Can you hear me?
So you're not coming back. So
no. I'm back like a bodhisattva.
You're not coming back.
No, this was a conscious choice.
Right,
I've already died 3 times and how many lives already? No, this is a choice because I told you I was working out of this universe. So I'm part of the group that's way up there working with the old school before, I helped create all the indigos and the Law of One and all of that so many people are using before we did the Tony Stubbs book, So we were working years and years in this reality, but we couldn't get them to understand the biological suits, ergo World War II, Hitler, lotta, So those people you call the Anunnaki, they're the ones with the God levels in the 369, the Ennead 9, and they're also the ones that said that we were only going to let the people on this particular location live 100 to 25 years, and that is set as a key in the in the Andromeda as well as this Milky Way galaxy. Those were gods. Those were above. And that's the law of 5 to 7. And we go all the way up to 9. And they were only teaching, I was only teaching with the with my God group, was the universal laws of down the 7 universal steps. So that's where we decided we would give the 12. But at the level, that's how we got up to the 12. But
TJ, we're going to have to unpack that because it's just it's too many words.
Well, we've only got 8 minutes on your show.
I know.
Oh.
So, but we've got a long time. We have other shows. We need to unpack that. So let's keep it kind of on a
cosmos conscious level.
I understand about half of what you're saying, but we've got to start with the human level, and then go to the ET level, and then go to the God level. So we're going past too many steps. So we got a lot of people that are still learning. So that's why I always say slow down, unpack. I know you're a genius, Geraldine. You're brilliant. Everybody's brilliant, but we got to slow down and unpack it because we're here to educate people, not to lecture and let you just download. We're here to help people and educate and help them catch up, help them understand how to evolve and grow, become more conscious. And none of us is better than anyone else.
The key is love.
Doesn't mean the people
in
kindergarten, the new souls coming into kindergarten are just as important. We're all equal in the divine plan, and the key is love. Yes, most definitely.
The key is love, and we leave out the levels. Well, that's the key. You've mentioned 125 or 120, but that's the key that was left here, and there's nothing I can do about that because you asked me, what I was doing, but there's nothing I can do about what's already been set up. There's just some universal laws I can't change. Not right now, not with this level. So I think that the whole Ascension Age is about everything we've been doing from the beginning of time is trying to teach people how to be back into the biological so they can get back out, but appreciate the essence of smell and sound and hearing and taste and touch because you miss that. I miss that. And even when I come back in, I miss that. But then when I'm out there, I miss this. So how do we teach that? With love. There's got to be. Suzanne, jump in here. Don't you believe that no matter what we use?
That's basically when you're in the moment, in the now, then you appreciate the air on your face and the smells and the love for your kids and their spouse and your kitties. But when you go grandiose and it's like, I'm all over the place, you don't have the now. Okay, but go ahead, Suzanne. We got
the now.
Geraldine, go ahead.
Geraldine, it's an interesting conversation. It's really interesting. You were in the event planning industry, and Now you're in this metaphysical world. So, interesting story. Your transition has an interesting element to it, the awakening. So I just find it an interesting story. It's also, and I'm not trying to point this out. It's also an interesting chapter because you're in the early chapter of your work. It's very interesting.
Yes,
that's a good point. Yeah, where do you think this will go? Because that's the language I'm looking for that I don't know how to communicate to you as I'm trying to get to that. What are they doing where you live with AI? Because we all know that they know the nomenclature from all you have to do is Google it. So what are they doing with people like you? What's the next level?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean next level, but I can tell you what I know. I mean, working here in the Silicon Valley, I mean, there's a lot of different agendas and programs, as you know, that are in connection with the government, and a lot of different programs that are meant to slow down the progression of our evolution, in a sense. And also, there's a lot of programs and agendas that are moving towards transhumanism. So, I mean, I think we're seeing that very clearly in our society today. But again, ultimately, as Janet was saying earlier, and I agree, the thing is to help people understand what to do, like how to embody the empowerment of moving forward. And I think that's the value that we can bring, is by educating the ability to come into that sovereignty, to that connection to oneself, that divine connection to source. And therefore realize what is deception, what is distraction, and what is the focus. I believe that there's so much distraction, in so many different things, even in the spiritual community, that we lose sight of, what we need to be focusing on. And the focus is really coming into that awareness of oneself, so that we can begin to deprogram from the matrix and find who we truly are, which is nothing like what we've been shown, like what we've been taught. And once you realize that, once you come to that realization, all of these things that you're watching on TV, like artificial intelligence, all of these things that are happening around us, all these programs that are being carried out, you can begin to choose whether you want to participate in those things or not participate. Now, there's many different levels of artificial intelligence. I'm not sure which one you're specifically talking about, but there's artificial intelligence in the fact that there's an agenda for transhumanism that's occurring on planet Earth on a mass scale, right, through programming of television and art and media and the computers and all this technology that's happening around us. But there's also an artificial intelligence that's in the non-physical body, which is also a big problem, which is the hijacking of our consciousness when we're not aware, which is the implementation of entities and attachments that are floating around in our space and becoming a vibrational match to us when we're not consciously aware of our bodies. And I also work with a lot of people that end up with a lot of this artificial intelligence attached to them that is maintaining them in a low vibrational frequency, such as depression, fear, anxiety. All these emotions, which we know as emotions, are an end product of a lot of this artificial intelligence that's being operational on the non-physical. And it's important for us to understand how that works, the mechanism behind that. When we enter a low-frequency emotion, we become a vibrational match to a lot of this artificial intelligence. And this is something that's being carried out on a massive scale, even in our communities. Large gatherings, places like malls, places like ballparks, all of these conference places, music halls, all of these places of large gathering where there's a lot of people. There's technology that is absorbing and utilizing unconscious aspects of humans, and manipulating that aspects of themselves. So, that's also another part of artificial intelligence. Now, there's the other part of implantation, which happens. implants that are as small as little tiny moles that can appear on your body through astral traveling and other unconscious aspects of yourself that go into the astral planes can be very easily hijacked and manipulated and controlled. So this is why I advocate becoming aware of yourself and educating yourself on becoming conscious in waking time and dream time, so that when you are detaching from the physical body during sleep, during dream time, you're not a host, an unconscious, unaware host of yourself in those planes. And Silicon Valley is,
we're running out of time. I just wanted to have you wrap it up. We will have you on again. Tell everybody what to say one more time, and then we're going to be kicked off. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. So anyway, if you guys are experiencing any of those kinds of blockages and artificial intelligence in your space, do get in touch with me. My website is GeraldineOrozco.com, Bay Area Meditation, and also hybridmother.com, and I'm very happy to work with you. So thank you,
Geraldine.
Thank you so much.
I like your voice and I like your work. It'll be fun getting to know you. Okay.
Okay.
I guess.
Are you there, TJ?
Yeah, I'm here. So, can you hear me? Am I on?
I can. Yeah,
Hello?
you're on.
Did it kick me off?
Great.
Oh, good. You didn't kick me off. Good. Okay, back to our show. All right, so that's one way, and that, she represents so many people in their early 30s that have worked over there in that area in Silicon, and they all are working on that level and they talk about the archons and then going in and out and all the levels of being, but they're not taking their physical 3D. They're usually doing it through meditation and hypnosis. Or some of them do understand being a bodhisattva or being here, choosing to be here and conscious, because so many of them do study Buddhism, Zen, blah, 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 right? So I think that's what I'm looking for is was there anything new? And no, there wasn't. So, but that's okay because they call them different modalities. So I guess that was the key word, was it not, that I couldn't find her modalities. Let me look that up. Is it modalities?
Okay. So it's she did talk about a premise. She's a really good hypnotherapist. She's a very hypnotic voice, very, very hypnotic throat chakra use. So I think a lot of her work and the value of it is in helping people to understand that there is a place for what could become really a discordant process, and helping them to have placement in understanding basically transhuman consciousness. It would make sense that they would be drawn to an area that has some of the most intelligent people in the world, has some very strong ethereal nets inside of it. It's interesting, but it's also, a lot of the material are things that we have worked with and we're familiar with. Doesn't discount her work, it's just a different vocabulary. Still effective, still good tools, still very positive. So it was an enjoyable conversation for me, and I enjoyed listening very closely. And I thought you were an excellent host, TJ, and I think you did a great job of posing some great questions.
Well, I wanted to get to the factors and circumstances on the diagnostic modality, but I didn't know how to say it, which is usually my problem. But you know what? We're all students and we're all teachers. So she taught me that I'm still seeking with the young AI people, or those that were born into, like she said, there's what kind of AI are you talking about? Because to me, there's only one kind. It's artificial intelligence. That's what AI means. But meaning it's not your intelligence or the God source. It's everything in between. But her modality is fine, and I think she's a beautiful woman, 36. So, folks, Geraldine, and she's already been in one of the big events for Stargate to the Cosmos. with Janet Carroll Lesson, so look up that Stargate to the Cosmos and find Geraldine. And she does meditation, hypnosis, and works with a lot of these kids out there that have learned about UFOs and extraterrestrials, and there's a whole reality that exists out there since we've been doing this motivational speaking in groups of the people I mentioned that were all in on the Matrix, and they all knew about the future and how they were going to program the general populace globally. But, not everybody is privy to that knowledge. And so fortunately, they're saying that psychology is, and I like to study the words in psychology, but many people that go to the hypnotist and the meditators, they also want past life regressions. And there's Suzanne can talk you through them as well. So I appreciate anybody. I guess I was trying to look for key words that she did. I don't know what I was looking for. I was trying to find a common, like you said, a common ground for the communication, modalities, circumstances.
Right.
But anyway, there's people that have been waiting. Yeah, they've been waiting, but would you like to us?
Yeah, let's go.
Do our thing. Let's do our thing. Okay, let me grab my cards here because I told them not only would we let them ask you a question, but if you don't mind, well,
no problem.
I'm going to let you get started, and I'll try to locate my cards. But did someone take my cards when I wasn't looking? Because they don't seem to be here, and I don't. Oh, I know what I did. They're right here. I hid them from myself. All right, so I wouldn't use them tonight until it was time for the first hour. That's just me, folks, communicating with myself. Okay, let's see here. Let's start here, 917. Who's going to be the lucky people tonight to be part of our show? Okay, folks, we learned a lot from Geraldine. 917, you're live and on the air with TJ and Suzanne, or Theresa, I guess I should say, to be more human, kind, and loving. 917, did you call in for a reading?
Yeah, I did. Hi.
Hey! This is Anna.
Yes, how are
Anna?
you? Yes.
Anna! You've listened to the whole thing. What'd you think of Geraldine?
I don't know. I was listening, but I was also doing preparing. I was just listening with an open mind, basically. So I don't know. I mean,
I don't either. Jury's still out, but that's okay. She's beautiful, young, and growing, and has her own practice as a practitioner, and she's a speaker, and she's already been on on the shows Stargate to the Cosmos with Janet. So we'll just all wait and see if she comes back, y'all. So we got our own little crew here. This is Anna, folks. She's one of the. Anna, how long have you been coming here? Since 2012 or 2013, or do you remember?
I like that she does the hypnotherapy stuff and all of that. I like it. I like that stuff. So let me ask you my question.
Okay. Suzanne first or me first?
I mean, I think I know you for 9 years or so now.
Okay. I never know the phone number. So, folks, I go by the voice. Suzanne, she's one of the few voices that I can somehow know, but now you've got a twin on here that calls in. Her name's Anna, too. But Suzanne, wait, Anna, have you talked with Suzanne once or twice or no?
Oh, remember.
I don't think so. Suzanne, do you remember this Anna? We talked to one Anna.
No, I don't. So, Anna, you have a question for us. Let's do the question.
Yeah, so I would like to know I'm working in this place, and I want to know if you see any changes coming. There's going to be some changes, but I really want to work in another place in the same institute. Do you see this happening for me? Or what do you see for me? Because it's just a very challenging place. I don't really want to stay there. I don't want to stay in these places. I want to go more in a different kind of program, and that program is open yet. Apparently it's going to open and blah, 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 but it takes time. So I'm wondering, am I going to go there? Is that going to be a better paid situation? Those kinds of
questions.
Questions.
So, are you
Wow.
working in the medical industry, and you
Yeah.
you spent a lot of time educating and training, and
Oh yeah.
one of your conflicts is that you really think that you should be in a different position and you should be in a higher position, and you find yourself stuck in these conflicts that have been difficult for you because you feel misunderstood.
Yeah.
It's all those levels again, Suzanne. You know, those levels that we keep working with people that nobody, we want to be loving, but we're working in levels. What are we going to do about that? Because we're not going to change the world right now, but it's levels, Suzanne, and we're not appreciated right now.
Right. So I think a lot of the difficulty that's happening right now with people is that people are thinking. They're thinking that it should be like I ask people for validation from the universe. Ask the universe to validate where you are today in your world and look for those small indicators to feel validated. So you have confidence, you have self-esteem, you have appreciation, you have gratitude, you have that attitude. And it's kind of a funny thing because, Anna, you're extraordinarily brilliant and talented, and you always end up in these skirmishes. Yeah, you end up in these little tiny conflicts that are meaningless, and it sours your position. And so I'm just going to propose something to you that for one day at work, all you're going to do is only look at the points that validate what your work is about, how it's valuable, how it assists people, and ignore the other things, and let's see what happens, because you are talented, you are educated, you are brilliant, you really are quite special. It's just these petty power struggles, petty power struggles, on and on and on and on.
So it's probably not you, Anna. I think we're all dealing with that. So I'm not sure, because we're trying to make a big move universally on this planet, and that's why the COVID-19 globally, to give everybody a breath of fresh air, our ozone levels, everything. So we were given that, but everybody was getting antsy now. Once the energy's starting to move. So let me see what the cards say. I get what you're saying, Anna, and I know you've been with me for years. So you always seem to advance, though. You've come a long way. She's really for a woman and young. She has. You're a powerful, very powerful.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, it's sort of breaking up, but go ahead.
Oh, put it a little closer. Maybe that will. I don't know why I'm breaking up, but yeah. So I was doing. I'm trained in multiple different things, right? So I'm doing something with one of the people there, and I'm using this test that I found on let's say OCD online. And I'm using this test because my colleague said, why don't you do the test and then figure it out? And so I put the test on the table, la, la, la. The psychologist sees the test, and he's, acting really curious. And he's like, oh, are you doing this? I did this, blah, blah, blah. He's acting like everything's fine. Next thing you know, it's my supervisor comes to me. He's like, how did you do the test? What is the test? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't even care about the test. It was just somebody that recommended it. It was, so long that it was so boring. I don't even want to do it. But it was just on the table, and he had already done it. People, complaints like that are so mean and backstabbing. That's what I'm talking about. That just hurts. That's hurtful, isn't it?
Well, universally, I think in America especially, and this is a year of voting, but I've noticed we've been a little more cranky with each other anyway. So I've had a lot of people complaining about each other in their job space, but some of them are just glad to have jobs. So many people have lost their jobs, especially musicians and anything to do with going out and eating, things like that. But you're in the higher level, mid-level management. So are they still great? You're supposed to be going to a higher level, aren't you?
not supposed to. I don't know. I'm trying to because they put me in a level, or the same level.
You transitioned. You transitioned, didn't you?
Can you hear me, guys? Because I'm talking and it's like you guys are not even hearing me.
That's my phone. Let me go ahead, Suzanne. Talk to her while I unhook. I'm gonna try a different phone. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Anna, how do you see yourself? How do you see yourself ideally? Ideally, what do you think are your greatest strengths? Ideally, what do you think is your greatest position? Ideally, what do you think is your greatest obstacle?
That pay me well, basically. That's it. Do the work.
Oh, wow.
And like study, advance, learn, continue to offer people advancement in their own life and happiness and well-being in their with their relationship with themselves. And understand. That's what I'm interested in. Whether that's, I also like stability that this job offers, stability. I have a place to go to, which is really, really important to my well-being. I don't just want to do everything on my own, which could be like, oh, I don't want to do it today or whatever. I do need some form of outside contact, not just all on my own here, doing everything on my own. Like, that is not a good either. So
okay.
I would like to, at this place, keep working here and ideally, God knows what he has in plan for me, like God knows, but other than that, I do want to get paid for my years and years of experience and not be in the same place as what I really want is people to stop complaining about me,
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for being really honest and doing the work. It's very good. So, just isn't a problem. So, it's a cultural divide. You come from a different culture, and Americans almost never say what they really feel or what they really think. People are extremely private. They appear to be open and outgoing, but in truth, Americans have been taught from a very early age to be very brave, to put on a really good smile, and to act pleasant even if they don't feel it. And so I think this is a cultural divide. And I think your work is good, and I think what you should ask for is validation in your work, and that you should stop focusing on the conflict. And if you stop paying attention to what is the problem will go away. And when you focus on your success will come.
I can manage that. The problem goes away, but then all of a sudden it comes back. And I'm like, where did this come from? I thought I already resolved this issue with them. Why does it have to go to my supervisors, and then I have to have a meeting, and then it has to be looked upon again and rehashed? Meanwhile, I apologized. I already did everything that I had to do. Like, why does it have to escalate with these people? Like, okay, let them do whatever they want to do. That's fine. I'm saying, I'm not talking, my question wasn't related to this. My question is like, are the cards saying if they're changing them? That's what
and I'm going to take a real risk with you, and I'm going to tell you, do you understand that you're conflicting with me? Do you understand that you're calling for a no-charge reading, and you're conflicting with me, and you're just right at the edge of being rude, just right at the edge of the envelope of being really, really rude. And so I'm polite and I listen to you, but it's just.
Yeah. So I had a different question, and it's okay.
I'm gonna mute myself, and if TJ wants to give you a reading, that's lovely. I'm gonna pull out here. Okay.
Okay, Suzanne, I'm grabbing the cards, but hold on, Anna. We've got lots of people online, but let me see, folks. What we do is I do the old school universal. Is we get another voice, so to speak. Everybody can let go and go to God, right? We all know that, so everybody can go direct. But sometimes we like to share what's been around in our culture, and we do tarot readings. So I'm looking at Anna's cards because she wanted to know what the cards are saying. Now, Anna, what I'm seeing right now we're talking right now, folks, not in the past. I'm doing her cards right now, and there is a conflict of completion right now. So they want you to put something to bed behind you. So, folks, when I see these, I'm asking for my higher self, what we call super conscious, to be intact with all the levels that I know that I exist, and ask for help. And sort of like I ask my guide to run over and talk to Anna's guide, because we've been doing this for years. But Anna, what I'm seeing right now is I want you to go back to writing down any conflicts in your dream diary, and later on Suzanne, because she's going to help us all with that. But that's about being in the biological, which is the human skin and the human form. So what I'm seeing right now is you've got a man coming towards you. So that's, I don't know, that wasn't supposed to be in the cards, but I'm just telling you, he's before the conflict pleading this last bit, but in your dreams. So you need to be doing your dream diary. When you get up first few minutes, don't go potty, don't do anything. Write it down, because he's coming. You got to manifest him. And, we've had that before, but I think it's time for a transition. So they're telling me that. But your higher guide, oh, my gosh. So, okay, hey, your guy is in your future. I went ahead and pulled your last three. So your guy is right behind your angel, which is right behind your higher source. So I think this has time to not only concentrate on your job, but go ahead and write down anything that you need to fix with your dreams, because the gentleman is riding towards you, but you've got to work with your higher guide. So go ahead and direct. You know how you do your prayers and meditation, but don't neglect that there's another part of you coming towards you. It's a male version of you.
Okay.
Which I didn't ask for that, neither did you, but we just wanted to know what the cards said. So the cards are telling me that, yes, they want you to put to bed what's behind you, but I was asking for the now. I didn't ask for past lives or future lives, but I went ahead and pulled the next three cards, but he's in both. He's in right now, and they're telling me to tell you to write your dreams down, because that's really the conflict with what we're doing now, is we're all transitioning in 2020 into understanding we have a, conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, and we're all accepting that. So this whole world is in this COVID-19 to get a breath and say we'll be here now, do our learning, learn something new every day, do your 5-hour principles, whatever you need to do to motivate. But please pay attention to your higher self. Write your dreams down before you go potty or get water, which is going to be hard, because the first thing you want to do is go potty. But they just don't want you to forget what they're telling you. So your higher guide has this gentleman already lined up. So I didn't ask what date, but I'm looking at some beautiful cards. So you need to be ready for that, Anna. So it says to put whatever it is behind you. So if you'll start writing it down in your dreams, you won't keep repeating the same thing. All right? So write your dreams down.
Yeah, what kind of man is this? What is that? Like,
he's middle, the one, let me make sure he's the same one. Yeah, he's the same one, same age. He's educated. He likes to move around, but in the future it shows that he prevails. So, and he's an educator. He's educated, but he's young. He's not younger than you. But I'm asking for, because your angel guide has right next to your higher self. So you really need to look at your abundance. So, how your angel will point like with pictures, so to speak. But they're telling me that your higher self is about your abundance. So allow yourself, it's sort of like I think Suzanne was trying to tell you, you need to allow yourself to manifest. But please look at they're telling me, they're showing me literally a bed with you in it, with, your hands on your head. So please think about putting down your dreams, okay? Because I love you. And just that's some of your work is to do write your dreams down. What?
Is this a relationship, like a female-male relationship, or is it something different?
No, he's writing towards you to be your equal in education.
He's a traveler, but he prevails? What does that mean?
That means he wins. He comes into your life and wins. He's next to your guide. He's being brought to you by your higher self and your, you know how we say a guardian angel or a guide or somebody up there, whoever you choose is helping you down here.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry about Susan. I think she got offended by something, but I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened there, but
that's okay. It's a disconnect, but we all do it, and it's because she's so good at what she does. She and I are a little sensitive today. I'll explain it to you next time. But let me get to the next person. But please do your dream. Would you please write? I'm going to do it too. I promise you. I'm starting with you tomorrow, so you do it. Suzanne gave me a notepad.
Your phone number a while ago, but I don't know if I have it still.
Well, write it down, 850.
Hold on. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to text you so you have my number, too.
Okay, 850.
Yeah.
376.
Yeah.
9100. It's a new one. It's just for me and Suzanne and this show.
Okay.
But it's mine. It's my cell phone. I pay for it.
Thank you for your reading. You're amazing. Thank you.
Well, I love you, and I know, but I'm surprised to see a guy coming back because I thought you were taking a break, but apparently it doesn't matter. This is in the now, so let's work with the now, okay?
Yeah, let's work with the now and focus on...
Work with your dreams, and I'm going to write mine down too. And let's call Suzanne later, and maybe we can get one of her dream groups. She only starts one like every year or two, but
maybe good at that. Okay, yeah.
Love and light, dear.
Yeah, love and light.
Thanks for supporting me.
Yeah,
okay.
So sorry about your birthday.
All right, love you. Okay, I'm going to the next one so we can hurry up because we got to catch up. 434, you're next on the line with Suzanne. Do you have a question?
Hey, I was wondering if I'll be able to go to Prince William County, Virginia.
Suzanne?
Or second.
Suzanne or Albert. Go ahead.
What's your first name here?
Khalil.
Okay. And my first impression when you say that is that you have business to finish up on that journey. Is that right?
No, I just want to just take a trip, and I also want to tour the local government facilities down there.
Right.
Some of them.
That looks like business to me. Listen, it's a great trip for you. Please don't worry about it. Just continue on, and your schedule will be fine. I think that you're somebody who really enjoys working hard, being loyal, and you have a generous heart. So this is a good trip for you. And continue on and enjoy the work. The work is valuable, and it leads to you being involved in a different type of business.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
TJ, are you there? Okay. So, let's see if we can bring on another caller and do another reading for somebody. TJ, do we have another caller? Hi, who's this?
My name is Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Tell me what the weather's like in your area today.
I'm sorry?
What's the weather like in your area today?
It's it's kind of warm still. We're trying to transition, I guess, in the fall for fall-like weather.
Okay. So you like things that are practical, simple, and that you can manage yourself? You've called to ask a very specific question about an opportunity in front of you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Let's do the question.
Okay. I just wanted to know, I'm in a long-distance relationship. I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years. I used to live where he lived at, and now I moved to a different state. And the plan is we're supposed to move in July, and I just applied for an apartment. Still waiting to hear back from the apartment and everything. But my boyfriend's supposed to move here in July where I live at. Do you see that happening?
Well, obviously, COVID has put things into a different light. You do move in with this person, and your relationship does go forward. But the timing is off now. The timing is just a little bit off. So please don't worry about it. Please go forward with your plans and use this time as a time to get rid of things you don't need, old attitudes, old grievances, old things. Use this as a chapter to discard what you no longer need in your life. Okay. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who's our next caller? We've got another caller on the line. Hi, this is Suzanne. Who do I have with me? Hi.
Hello, you just got me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let's see if we can go to let's go to the next person.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Jeanette. How are you, Suzanne?
Really good, Jeanette. Tell me what the weather's like in your area today.
Weather was sunny, paradise as usual.
Okay, Jeanette, what an interesting attitude you have about life. I think you've overcome a lot of obstacles in your own personal life for a long period of time. And if you and I were to talk at the deeper level, I would tell you that, you know, some of your obstacles in your life taught you a lot, and other obstacles were just obstacles. And you really wonder what the experience is about. So I like your sense of joy. I like your good attitude. I like your ability to really enjoy life. You do need to be near the water. When you're near the water, you function at a much higher level.
True. Absolutely true.
Okay. What's your question today?
So my question is, I would love to receive a message for, my true love connection coming in. I'm open to that.
Okay. Jeanette.
Yes.
How long has it been since you've been in a relationship?
About 5.5 years.
So I want you to take and only think about what you really, really want in a relationship and write it down on one piece of paper. Write it down on one piece of paper. Maybe it goes something like the person is emotionally available, comes from a good family background, is financially secure, and is able to make a committed, mated, monogamous relationship and enjoys sex. Let's just say that's your list, for instance.
Yeah.
And, okay? And then you make your list, you think about that list for 3 days, you get it just perfect, and then you refine it. If you follow my directions, in 5.5 weeks, this person will show up. You won't recognize this person, and you'll become friends with this person, and it'll only be after you've become friends with the person that you'll realize that he's everything you put on your list.
Now, is this normal for everyone, or is this something that's divinely guided message for me?
This is divinely guided message for you, and there are no big elements out there, but your question reveals your element of doubt, which prevents you from getting what you want. So don't doubt this process, immerse this process. I always tell people I can't lie to them or just generate mass material because it would put my mortal soul in danger, and I don't think it's worth it. So, no, this is specifically for you, specific time frame, specific assignment.
Oh, wow.
Because you specifically have a conflict within yourself about your own confidence to achieve your goal. You want the love and romance of a partner and what that feels like. You want that so much. So fine-tune your list, get on with your life, and eliminate doubt and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. That's exactly how I would have wanted it. I mean, I'm not really worried about it, and maybe I have the doubt. I don't know. That's not something that comes to the surface for me. But and at the same time, we do have a lot of elements going on right now that kind of may throw a little bit of a monkey wrench in what normally would be a smooth process. So when you said it, 5.5 weeks, I was a little surprised.
No, it's excellent. Your question is exactly timed to your desire, and your desire only has one thing, and that is to be met.
Yes, to be seen and to be met. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
You're so welcome. Excellent question. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is Theresa on the line, or?
I think I'm just doing. There she is.
Teresa?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hello.
I just wanted to say hello.
Hi. Who's this?
Jeanette.
Oh, Jeanette, that's I thought, how sweet. I was wondering if you were going to let me talk to you. That's my middle name. I'm Theresa Jeanette.
Oh, my gosh. That's awesome.
How do you spell it? I spell mine Janette. Is yours Jean or not?
Yes, Jean. Mm-hmm.
Jeanette. Well, how did you hear about it?
I just decided I was going. It was a quiet Friday night, and I just was in the mood to tap into divine guidance, and I thought, let me see who's on tonight right now.
Wow. So have you talked to us before? I don't remember you. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I think way back I may have. I'm not.
I usually remember Jeanette. I don't remember, but let me look. You want me to look at the cards for you and see if you've got anybody? Okay, well, I'm shuffling right now because, if people want me to, I enjoy it, but, sometimes they don't need me. So, but let me look at the cards because let me see what the cards have. But since I don't have anything recently, I'm just going to do past, present, future on you if that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'm pulling up. You've got beautiful cards for your past. You have a very high guide, had to deal with a lot of money and strength. And you came in with your wanting to work on your spiritual self. So your wisdom was very important this time. So did you complete anything? At your age now, you can do anything you want. But did you complete anything as far as your mind thinks you did education-wise? Are you complete?
I feel like I'm complete with a feeling that I have a well of wisdom. I started studying metaphysics at the age of 13, so it's been a while, and I feel, pretty confident in my well of wisdom. Now, that's not to say that I'm always open to learning more and going deeper.
Yeah, because I was seeing in the present the moon goddess. I don't understand the moon. It's one of my teachers, but I want to work more with women and the goddess. But you're being called in the present to work. They're asking you to carry a load of the 10 dimensions. So apparently because of your past higher guide, because you were able to manifest your wealth in past lives, that's why this time you didn't mind the wisdom being metaphysics. So you're sort of in the same boat I'm in. I hate to tell you this, but maybe I'm supposed to, let's just say, because it's in the cards. Okay, I don't know if you ever liked tarot, but they pretty much don't lie to me. I mean, intuitive-wise, they're telling me that you're supposed to be out there working. They've got a calling for you. Are you not serving the great divine right now, God divine, your mother goddess right now?
Well, let's put it this way. First of all, I first, before I forget, I want to comment. You said moon goddess, and I just took a deep gasp of breath when you said that, because that is one of my email addresses. I call myself the moon goddess.
Holy moly.
I am definitely, I am a Cancerian, so. And I also was doing moon circles, so I would do the full and the new moon circles. And right now I am definitely in transition. And I am definitely looking for my next divine calling.
Wow,
So
they've got it for you. They want you to complete your. Yeah, they've got you helping families with wisdom and your future calling. So I guess it's you're going to be working. You've got the completion card. You've got 2 guides, but they've called you into service through the power of 3. So that moon goddess is your now, but they've got it with you're working with your higher source, the great divine. But what they're doing is calling you into physical 3D service at this time in 2020. So we need you. So I'm sort of embarrassed, but I'm sort of calling you to service for what we need you. So don't know how to tell you this, but I mean, wisdom is important. They need your support. Can you, just take my phone number down and give me a call. I don't know what to tell you because these guys are very powerful, and you're being called to service. So I don't know how to tell people when somebody like me gets it in the cards. I mean, I can't explain it. I don't know.
Did you say specifically in service to families?
To God, to your to source. They're calling you into right now. They need you right now in 2020 for family wisdom. They're asking you. See that you're. It's hard to explain. This is who you are. This is what you do. So they show me. See, the pictures when you're tarot readers and then you're blessed and then you come and go and you come and go. Reality is like bodhisattva energy in the conscious mind, or what they call the mindfulness. But we also know we're soul essence, right? So you already know who you are. And you've already done your metaphysical work. Suzanne, can you help me out here? She's one of us. So, Jeanette, how do I do this? I don't know. I haven't done this before. Suzanne, are you there? Help. She's off. Hold on. Are you in Alabama? Where are you?
No. She's in Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Aren't you, Jeanette?
Oh, no. I'm in California.
Where are you in relation? Where are you in relation to the water?
I am, I would say, 25 minutes east of the water. I so want to get to the water, and I have had a little bit of a roller coaster ride with home, quote unquote home. Where I'm at right now doesn't feel like home, but when I move to the water, I know it will feel like home.
But are you living between San Diego and San Francisco? Because that's such a huge area.
Where are you?
She's San Diego right now.
San Diego, east of the ocean.
Okay. So I'm in Dana Point, California. So
how do we get her up to Camp Pendleton? How do we get her up to the like Dana Point area? Is that possible?
Oh my God. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I would be there in a flash.
So here's your story. This is what TJ is telling you. She's saying that your knowledge and your wisdom and your understanding of the moon goddess energy is your source of your new business, your new income, your new ability to be in the outdoors and connect with water. People want to do moon goddess ceremony in the water. They want to do it in the ocean. They want to do it in a lake. They want to do it in a stream. They want to do it in the water. And when you take and you heal people by awakening their female energy and understanding there's a dark side and there's a light side and bring them into their reality, then they are healed. The healing that is going on now, the pandemic is a symptom, but it is a symptom of the deeper illness in human consciousness, and we're witnessing the collapse of the civilization. So the civilization is being reborn. It's not a bad thing, but nobody likes birth pains. Birth pains are very uncomfortable. But once we're through the birth, we get the beautiful baby. And you are sitting in that transition of birthing people into their female energy. And that is the wisdom that Theresa, is sharing with you.
Okay. Well, that sounds, that sounds great. I understand.
I don't see any man in your cards, but then I wasn't asking about one. I didn't think. But they're all about your being who you are, your past life self, and your metaphysics being called into service. So I just had to deliver the message. So I appreciate you, Jeanette. Thank you for asking about me. If you hadn't, I guess I wouldn't have pulled the cards and told you the message. So that's just how it works.
She's right. Very good. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Keep our numbers, though. Will you keep our numbers? She needs to be in one of our groups. You don't have a way to keep our numbers?
Is that on the show page by any chance?
No, just a call in. It's 850-376-9100 is my home number. You can look me up though, TJ Morris ET Radio or
Suzanne Wyman-Flynn. I'm all over the place. You can find me.
But she's right here in California. Yeah, so let's get together with you, and let's not wait till July 21. What day is the moon ceremony in 2021 after April through July? We have to have. Is it going to be? We always celebrate Beltane October 31st, but I don't know. You got any feeling yet when you'll be towards Dana Point area?
Oh, I can get in my car and go to Dana Point anytime I want to.
That's not a problem. Yeah, you're in California, you get in the car and you go. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. Thank you so much.
Okay, I guess we better get on with the show. I'm sort of in shock.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Jeanette. Just don't lose touch because I don't think your hired guides will let my guides alone. They'll be spooking me in my dreams or something.
No, TJ, I knew I needed to ask for you, and I'm not going to let go so quickly.
Love and light, dear. Love and light. Thank you, dear.
Love and light to you both. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, TJ, we've got time for one more, and that's it.
Well, how about two more? 973, did we get you? We only got two more left. 973?
Yes, thank you. Happy Friday.
Oh, thank you. Who's this?
My name is, thank you. My name is Teen. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Have we spoken to you before?
I don't think so. I think this is my first time calling.
Wow. She's just a happy soul, Tina. Tina, is that your real name?
No, but my name is complicated, so I didn't even want you to have to ask me to repeat it.
But I want to know it. Say it again.
Oh, no, it's okay, Tina. So, yes, I'm calling from New Jersey, and I would like to ask about my relationship with my boyfriend, Todd.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do the
question.
Let's do the question. I can hear the question bubbling under the surface. Let's do it.
Thank you.
What's the question?
Oh, yeah, I said I wanted to ask about my relationship with my boyfriend, Todd.
Okay. How long have you two been dating?
We've known each other for years, but we just connected. I was busy with school and stuff.
So I think that you two have a relationship that's based on mutual values, family values, spiritual values, understanding each other. So the relationship supports you in a way that you're not used to being supported. So I think that your growth cycle that's going on right now is you learning how to receive love. So you two have plans to get married. That's my feeling side. My feeling side says you have plans to get married. The other comment I have for you is that you feel as if you've always belonged with this person.
Yes.
So I don't think there's really any problem. I think it's all good news. If you're having difficulty, it's because you've never had it so good. It's never felt so good. It's never felt so natural, and you're waiting for something bad to happen because your early life was, filled with a lot of pain and unhappiness, and you've had to overcome all of that.
Yes. That's so true.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry to make this a really short 3-minute reading. We're going to go on to the next person.
How do we reach you outside of this? Since this is my first time calling. Thank you.
714
Okay.
400 7384, and we'll be back, and you can call in again if you want.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great evening. Okay, TJ, we've got one more person, huh? Hello, this is Suzanne. You're live.
This is still Tina.
Oh, my gosh. Technical difficulties abound today, I tell you. Okay, let's see if we can find one more person, and you can just listen. TJ, is there one more person waiting for a reading? No. Okay, well, I guess, Tina, that you're my last caller of the evening. So
313. No, there was
313.
Yeah, 313. We didn't get to you, did we? Area code 313.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
313? I can hear you perfect. 313, are you live with us? Would you like to get a reading? Oh, there she is. There she is.
Hello?
Hi. What's your name?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? Huh. I can hear her. Can you hear her, TJ?
Uh-huh.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
That is so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I have no idea. I can hear her perfectly, but she can't hear us.
All right, well, we got 973, right? 973 704, we got you, right?
973. That's
Did we get
Tina. It's Tina. She'd like to. Tina?
Yes.
Would you like to ask TJ a question?
Oh, yeah, just about my son. Yeah. What does Spirit have about my son? Thank you.
How old is your son?
16.
Okay. What's the problem?
You know how teenagers are. We're into ministry. I'm in the ministry. So I didn't want to be too hard on him. So I just wanted to see if you picked up if he's going through anything.
I think he feels isolated, and he is really going through a spiritual growth cycle. He's questioning what is the will of God for him, and he really is somebody who's really meant. He should be doing spiritual ministerial work with his fellow teenagers. He should be involved in a peer group. He should be active, and he's really an active human being. Not in the traditional sense, but he's really active. You know, no, it wasn't. It was Edgar Casey. He talked about the spiritual growth cycle of teenagers, and I think that's what's happening with your son right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to ask a lot of questions, so he feels like I'm really being hard on him. But, because we're really excited about the Bible. Well, I am.
Right. He's really a very spiritually aware human being, and I think that you have a really big spirit, and he's still trying to find his place and how to speak up for himself. And I think I'd like to encourage you as the parent to help him find his own place and his own spiritual understanding, to talk about his own spiritual growth, and to create a group of people that join him.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to get him to do, but I think maybe because his dad is had a stroke, so his father's like 40 in a nursing home. So do you see how he feels about that?
Yeah, his roots. That's what the cards are telling me. But his devotion to leadership is because of his expansion. He's worried, but he wants to explore. So I was looking at the cards for you while you were talking to Suzanne, because it was a spiritual question. So, he's no wonder he's worried about his roots, but that was actually what was being said. So his roots, but yeah, I will agree with Suzanne on can you help him with his leadership development, because he's into early exploration. But he's concerned about his communication and his devotion. But it says his expansion card's up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm going to look real quick. Suzanne, we still got 7 minutes. Can we do another one?
Yeah. Sure. Is there somebody else on the line here today?
Well, we've got, let me see who stayed. I think 205 must have called back in, but we couldn't hear him a while ago. 917-434 is still here, so we could go back and visit with him in 205. I don't know who couldn't hear me, because 205 is, I don't remember getting them. Let me look here. oh my gosh, everything is, oh my gosh, his world's turned upside down. So, you know what he's concerned is how he's going to make money in the future. Believe it or not, his main goal was concerned about everything, the world, manifestation, his money, his schooling, even death has crossed his mind. But, you know, just tell him it's going to be okay because he's going to be protected. So he's going to be working with devotion and expansion. He's worried about his roots, but he's worried about his future and money is what the cards tell me. So just take care of him and let him know it's all going to be okay. He just needs reassuring right now because he's going through a lot with you, right? So did you say that he's been called to the revival?
He's a youth pastor, at the church.
That's what I thought you said. So, well, just let him know that he may not believe in the manifestation, but it's what we believe. You know,
Yes.
It's a choice to believe in visual symbols, signs, and all that. But God has I just say that God is very mysterious, and we can't possibly all know everything if we're everything, and God is everything, and God is love, right? So, but in the youth ministry, they're very they're called to understand a language that none of us really get, so we have to use love. So just tell him to, you know, do his prayers, do his meditation, do his devotion. He knows the Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner, right?
Yes.
How many times does he use it?
We usually say it morning and night.
Okay. Well, tell him to add one more.
Okay.
And make sure he's blessing his food going in for his strength because the ministry is really, really needed right now. But he's doing a good job. But just, you know, it's concerned about roots and future and money and, you know, expanding. And are you going to put him in? He's being called to SMU. Why? Who do you know went to SMU?
I don't know what's SMU.
Southern Methodist University.
Oh, okay. I'll start looking into that
Texas,
for him.
I think.
Well,
we located?
We live in New Jersey, but we do love like Mike Murdoch and T.D. Jakes. So we've gone out there. I went out there for a minister's retreat.
Okay. Well, that's the connection then, that retreat.
Southern Methodist. I'm going to look that up. Okay.
Yeah, but keep him involved with. Now, is he playing an instrument?
He was playing a trombone.
That's good for him. That's good for him.
Well, good. Well, he's got all these bases covered, but just remember that stroke with his dad is his root, because his first card, base chakra, Suzanne, his first card was roots, right?
Oh, okay. So it's really about a lot of emotional and financial difficulties that you and your husband went through during the first year of your son's life have emerged again, and he's in conflict with that information. You think he doesn't remember it, but that information has come up very clearly for him because this child is no ordinary child. This is a child born with spiritual awareness, and you have to take and treat that with appropriate respect. If there's something in that story that would help him to understand himself better, this is a good time to give it to him because it gives him understanding of where he is moving from and where that energy is coming from. We think that children don't remember anything, but children remember everything. So I'd like to encourage you, if you could have an honest dialogue with him, even if you don't look good in it, it will help him a lot.
Oh, wow. Yes, I do that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, very good. I'm proud of you for being willing to accept that position because that really is the thing that helps you turn your son's life around. It's not the information. It's the way you do it and the way you take responsibility for it and how you model that to him that changes him.
Oh, I agree with that. Thank you.
Okay.
What area code did you call in on, if you don't mind me asking?
973.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Okay. Well, call us back anytime and stay in touch, okay?
Yes, blessings to your family and you all. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Love and light. Okay. I don't know why 313 is on here, but did we read them?
I don't think so.
Hello?
313?
Yeah.
Hi, did you get a reading?
I'm 205, and I didn't get one.
Oh,
This is my first time calling the show.
Oh, well, how nice to have you. Thank you for joining us. Tell me your first name, please.
Patricia. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for waiting. Patricia, tell me what the weather's like in your area today.
Alabama. It's hot. Sticky hot. Mostly all day. And around, I guess, maybe 7, maybe 8-ish, 8 o'clock, it tends to cool down. So it was probably in the 90s. So, yeah,
wow.
muggy. Yeah, this time of year.
Well, you truly are a Southern lady. You really are the woman who really understands the importance of community, family, neighborhood, belonging to a group of people, and putting service to others first. If you're calling to talk to us, it's because you're facing a difficulty and you don't know how to sort it out. I think you're very powerful. I think you have risen up above circumstances and put together a good life for yourself when other people may not have been able to do that. I think you have trouble acknowledging your success, and you're very focused on giving to others. So do you have a specific question for me today?
Oh, wow, Suzanne, you put that together. Wow.
Okay.
Yes, my question is, what do you see for me coming up in the next couple of months?
In what area?
In love.
Okay. There's somebody who you want. There's somebody who you want to be involved with, and you don't really know how to approach it. And I'm going to tell you that you need to approach it the same way you would approach any friendship. Be loving, be kind, be interested. Give yourself over to it. If you don't go and try and pursue this person, you'll always wonder what would have happened if you had. So take that chance, be brave, have an open heart. Trust God would not guide you to that person if there wasn't a reason for that, and allow yourself to truly embrace that experience. You really have been a little too quiet and a little too ladylike, and he doesn't really know you're interested. Okay?
Is he someone that I'm talking to now? Because I haven't been in a relationship for 2.5 years, and I have been doing some dating. Mm-hmm. But is this someone I'm talking to now?
Yeah,
it's
you
somebody.
Two guys. I got to do her cards because we're out of time and we're off the air. But people, this will still be on the recording. But you've got 2 men, but the one that you're thinking about right now, there's the money issues. Okay, for not wanting to get married because of money. Does that sound familiar? Because I'm going to keep going if it does. There's the money issues about getting married. You know which one I'm talking about?
I can help you. I'm gonna say a name, and you just tell me who I've been talking to lately, off and on. Probably met him. I've physically met him at the beginning of the year before the pandemic, and his last name is Owens. So he's one, and then the other one named I've been talking to him off and on.
No, he's the one, the night. The first one is the younger. Boyd's younger than the one you off and on, right?
They're around the same age, but yes, Owens is younger.
That's what I thought. So go with the other guy. If I had to choose, because they're both on the radar because you chose it that way. But you're right now, what it is you've got to settle your deal about being married, money issues, because those are on your now cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to show you the spread.
Is Edward the other one?
No, the one. No. They're both. See, you've already created this. It's hard to explain. You are.
Let me try.
Okay, you try.
So you have 2 men that you've been talking to, and they're both really good men. I want you to know this. Mm-hmm. In your emotional process, in how you feel about your life today, you have a resentment or a sense of lack of justice or fairness about an old issue from a previous relationship where you were married before and you don't feel as if justice was dispensed. And so instead of you being able to get past that and discard that, you simply are carrying that piece of business into the next step of you being able to be involved with another suitor. And so there's two men, but I want you to go with the man who you like the best. Not the one who you think is the best, but the one that you like the best. It's the one that you have better emotions for, the one who you feel more at home with. I want you to go to the real connection. And you've got a little bit of housekeeping to do, dear. I'm sorry to tell you that, but you kind of got to, search around and sweep the corners and make sure that you've cleaned up all of the dirt and the mess from a past relationship and that you're free of it. And I mean, I get the feeling of sadness when I look at that with you. And so I know that there's something that you feel could have been different. It should have been different. It could have been different, but it wasn't. And sometimes we just have to accept.
It's all about the balance for her. So make sure you're doing your health. I'm bad about not walking, but just what Suzanne said about the two guys. But can you keep some pretty flowers around you for a little while you're healing?
Yeah.
A few little flowers. Just to keep the good stuff around you while you're making your decisions, because some of the healing is some of that stuff we were talking about with Geraldine, some of the modalities or some of the things, hypnotism, past life regression, looking at your old marriage counseling junk or what they call baggage. But get rid of all that before you get ready for the other guy or the new guy.
Okay, Edward, I haven't been talking to lately, but we talked and went out more last year, toward the end of last year. But Owens is who I've been talking to a little bit more this year, but I've only physically seen him once, and so but we still talk. So, I didn't know I had met him already. I've been, praying and manifesting this man, but I didn't know he's actually here. So you said it's Owens? It's not Edward, it's Owens.
You know what? I'm going to trust your heart to guide you to the man that God has placed in your life.
It may not matter. May not matter what letter it starts with or what it sounds like, but we know because we get the I don't know what we get what sometimes to help people with the bridge information, the communication, and sometimes I'm not very good with communication, but I can see the information.
That's right.
I can communicate it.
You have no idea how hard it is to translate spiritual information into logical conversation, and they want it quick, and it's like, it doesn't work like that, dear. I wish it did, but it just doesn't. But you are kind, you are generous, you are loving, you are thoughtful, and you have a lot of love to share. So I want to encourage you to put the effort into it and trust that you'll be guided to the right person for you.
Thank you, ladies, so much. I'm so glad you took my call. I really appreciate it. I love you both, and God bless you.
I love you too.
And please stay safe.
Thank you. Keep sharing the love, folks. Love and light, everybody. We're going to be back Sunday with a spiritual community-based, just me and Suzanne. If we don't have a speaker for Sunday, I guess we'll do more shares and readings for you guys on Sunday. Same time, 8 to 10, folks, Sunday. But tomorrow night, if y'all can tune in, we're going to have Uncle Jack, right? And he's 94. So he's going to be our 8th folk life guy and come help us tomorrow to build that show.
That's right. So, Theresa, let's say goodnight. Let's bless the audience. Let's thank everybody for calling and talking. Thank you for your support and your love and your great insight. And thank you for being a great producer and putting a good show together. Thank you for being interesting and encouraging always. And we'll be back. We'll be back very, very soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, all our regulars. We can't do the show without you. You guys know that. So love and light, everybody. Stay tuned.
Love and light.
Okay. We'll see you again soon. Hopefully.
All right.
Lord
Okay.
willing, the creek don't rise. See y'all tomorrow night.
Good night.
Okay.